Welcome back to A&M in the AM, episode 35. We're back here after, it hasn't been that long of a break for me, but it's been a little bit while
I
for you.
I couldn't
Um,
tell you. I mean, I guess I was no, I wasn't even on the last A&M. So
no, you weren't because we
I
had
I
the
could
special guest.
I could not tell you when the last. I think it's probably been 2 weeks now.
It was the last time we did our positions video, so our small forwards video.
Yeah, it seems
But
like it's been years. So that's
mhm.
why I made sure we had to come make a comeback even with the rest of the group.
But
On
yeah, we took our little Christmas break. We decided to take it was around a 4 day break ever since Friday.
we
But
did make the 25 days in a
I
row.
I don't understand how, but yes, we
Somehow we were able to scrap that one out.
did. But yes, we made the 25 days. Ended off with our fantasy football championship preview, which I think we're gonna be talking about who all that whole situation on Friday. Who
It
won
was
and
like the fantasy basketball season. It was over before it started.
Yeah. What time I'm playing you in fantasy basketball this week. So I'm already off to a hot start. I had 6 people last night and you had two, and I'm already leading by like 200.
I'm just waiting for the team to wake up. I already made one casualty. I will make more. I'm just saying right now that if Andrew Wiggins does nothing again tonight against the Pistons of all teams, he's gone.
Okay,
You
hey,
guys can have fun competing for picking him up. I'm done waiting because nobody wants
hey.
to trade for him. Everybody's like, "Oh, I want him," but nobody wants to trade for the dude.
Yeah, because
So,
you have his value so low right now. Nobody's gonna trade for him if you're gonna
so
just
I
drop him.
drop him. He's gonna be picked up,
Yeah,
and he's still gonna
because
have the same value.
you have his value so low, no one's gonna trade somebody on their team when they can just pick him up.
It's
Like,
not my fault his value's low. It's not my fault he's the worst basketball player in the league.
but yeah, Pistons. Honestly, that should be a pretty competitive game with how good Jeremy Grant and
Yeah,
Josh Jackson
I
play.
think it's gonna be 140 to 160.
I mean,
They should have sat
Pistons.
Blake again for the culture.
I see. I have been seeing that like ever after the Hawks game, like the one that last night, after Grant and Jackson went off, they're like, they might as well just trade Blake and D Rose right now. They're like, because our
Everybody wants to
young
see them lose with the young guys, not that lose with the old guys.
and not even like, because I feel like the young guys could still win a decent amount of games. Like they played pretty well, and
Yeah.
with the lineup, because okay, so with having D Rose not there last night or against the Hawks, they moved Delon right to the bench to be backup point guard. So then you're running a lineup of Killian Hayes, Josh Jack. Actually, they ran Sadiq Bey at the shooting guard. I don't under 6'8" shooting guard. I don't, but
It's a new
whatever.
wave.
They ran Killian Hayes, Sadiq Bey, Josh Jackson, um, and then they had Jeremy Grant and Jeremy Grant moved to the 4, and then they had obviously Mason Plumlee at the 5. But then like
And
you
everybody was happy
had
about Stewart. Was Stewart playing power forward then?
no Stewart ended up he's playing because now Jahlil Okafor's hurt and he's gonna be
Oh,
out for a
okay.
week or two, so he'll be playing even with Blake coming back. And he leads the Pistons in offensive rebounds playing one game. He had
Oh
I
my
think 5
gosh.
or 6 offensive rebounds. But he's a horsey. He is a horsey. Just from watching that game, he is a. I really, I was kind of skeptical about him because, especially because he wasn't playing at first. I was like, oh, is he not ready? And I was like, but I guess it's just because he was buried on that depth chart. And it looks like he should like. I don't know. They're not because they're not going to trade Okafor or Plumlee, so he's just going to be buried on that depth chart really because he can't play power forward. He's not like he doesn't have the range. They would have to have a shooting or shooting center in there. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, Pistons game, uh, Warriors tonight. But the main focus here is baseball. The hot stove is starting to get even hotter. Not really free agent wise. Free agency is still very, very slow for some weird reason. Even after we're like probably 3 weeks since winter meetings
Mm-hmm.
started. Um, and but Padres are starting to become Dodgers 2.0. They have to compete with the Dodgers if they even want to get
I hope they
close.
get more.
But they traded for Blake Snell, former Cy Young winner, and then they also traded for Yu Darvish. Was he a Cy Young winner too?
He
Or
was
he
he
was
was
in
a
the running.
candidate last year.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so they've traded for.
Actually, I think he might have won it early in his year. If not, or in his career. If not, then he was very close with
Honestly,
the.
I thought he won it down in Texas, but
Yeah, let me look.
um
I actually don't remember. I don't remember that era of baseball.
um, but yeah, so they got two great pitchers. Kind of it's kind of a weird one for Darvish, but he's still at the top of his game. Could do pretty decent there in that rotation. Um, and so that rotation right now, you got. You said Clevenger was coming back from
Tommy
what
John,
was
he's gonna be out this year.
oh, so he's gonna be out. So you
That's
got
why. That's why
Blake.
they needed two guys. Because then they
You
had a
got
Lamette
Blake.
too. They didn't know about.
So Lament, Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, and then who are their other two?
They were saying that it was looking like. I was just reading out Jeff Passan's Twitter because I honestly forgot about the other guys that they had.
Yeah, and after this, I got something to tell you too.
It's Chris Paddock.
Oh,
It's
Paddock, yes.
Darvish, Snell, Lamette, Paddock, and then they can go Mackenzie Gore, Luce. I think it's no. I'm not even gonna try to think of his last name or his first name.
Gore, yeah, I see Gore.
Lucchesi, Morajan, who came up last year and was decent, and Weathers. But also people are still thinking they could get Bauer. And if that's the case, then I mean, it depends on if they actually let him pitch every 4 days like he wanted to. If he goes there, they wouldn't need a fifth guy. But
Who, Bauer?
yeah, he said he wants to pitch every 4 days
Is that
wherever he goes
allowed?
to.
Or?
Yeah, just if the team lets him,
Why does he want to pitch every 4 days?
because it means extra starts.
I mean,
And he
yeah, I
says that
guess.
he can recover faster than anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could put that into his, because then he could structure his contract to go with so many starts, he gets so much more money, and then that's where he could do that every 4 days. And yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think that's why he said like he could try to get more money too.
yeah. But yeah, and then I'm just looking at their 2022 rotation here. You got Darvish, Snell, Lament, Clevenger, Paddock, and then as a sixth guy, Gore, or those other three guys that you mentioned there. So yeah, I mean, really, um, that's probably one of the strongest pitching rotations in recent history, other than like obviously Tampa Bay last year. They were very strong with their starting five.
Yeah, I don't get speaking of them, I don't get what they're doing. They let Charlie Morton go already, which everybody keeps forgetting. I keep forgetting.
He was the first. He was like one of the first people to go in all of baseball. Like he was one of the first people.
Yeah, he's already gone, and then you trade Snell. So now you have Glass now, and I don't even remember. The guy that I had in fantasy, I keep forgetting his name too.
Yeah,
Like
I know who
they
you're talking.
lost a bunch of their rotation, and then they just traded Jose Alvarado to the Phillies today, just a little bit ago.
Maybe
closer.
they have a lot of young, or maybe they have young guys that they're really confident in their
Yeah, I would
system.
assume that means they think Brandon McKay is going to come up.
Oh yeah, isn't he kind of like a Shohei kind of guy? Like he can
Yeah,
hit and pitch.
he was a first baseman and pitcher. I don't know if that's what they're banking on or if they have more pitchers. I mean, obviously everybody only really knows about Wander Franco, and then everybody. I mean, you've heard some of the other names after him, but they do
And
have the
everyone
best.
was
They do have the
pretty
best farm system. I just don't know why they're banking on the farm
the
system,
farm
making
system.
them compete in the East when the Blue Jays are right there. If they get a few pieces, they could pass the Rays because the
Blue Jays are
Rays.
getting everybody, so it
Yeah,
doesn't
they're
matter.
getting the whole league. So their strong suit. The Rays have always been pitching, and they've lost three of their key pitching pieces, and so I don't know what they're doing. I mean, obviously it's the Yankees division, but I think the Blue Jays could come up and mess around with them now.
Also, question: do we know? Because we haven't talked about baseball in a while, and baseball's been really, really quiet about everything. how is the season going to be structured? Like, is it gonna be shortened? Is it going
I've
to be
seen I've
160?
seen normal. I don't know.
Like, are they going to? I
I
would
think I saw like maybe less games, but I'm not sure if I've seen anything official.
because like, are they going to do like the divisions like they did this year, where they be like, okay, you're playing the Central from the NL and
I
the
think they're gonna
AL.
feel it out because they'll be able to get to spring training after the new year and everything, and so they'll be able to test everything out before they'll know like more
Yeah,
then in
and I
this
guess
next coming
that's
month than before they go to
you're
spring training in February.
and they will have like 3 months there where we're into 2021 where they can kind of assess where the corona's at, and they can be like, hey, how bad is it? Are we going to be able to travel a little bit more this year? Are we going to need to like do the divisions like that again? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like the division might be a smart idea, and like for like the first half of the season, and then like in the second half of the season, that's where you can kind of go more west or go more east.
I mean, I can see them doing it because everybody's gonna want to now see the Padres and Dodgers playing 8 times a week.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
but
know, but I just feel like, or maybe even like you could do like, okay, everybody west of Texas, or like just like draw a line, be like, everybody west of Texas, your guys are playing each other. Everybody east of Texas, you guys are playing each other, and kind of split it up into like an AL NL, but like in that sort of fashion. But it
maybe.
then you have the old heads coming in, and they're like, oh, you're ruining the tradition. And
Well, considering the major leagues, we found out, or yeah, MLB doesn't know the difference between their divisions. We found out yesterday with their helmets, their little helmets that they sell on their website. Says collect all 30 teams from the NL and NL, and then it says NL East, Central, and West, and has all the American League teams. So they don't even know what they're doing that way. So I can't expect much out of them.
um but okay, so talking baseball here. Tigers haven't made any moves.
Nope. Al's in hibernation. We found out.
Really, but in hindsight, no teams have really made any moves. The biggest move is probably James McCann still, or Charlie Morton.
Mm-hmm.
Other than trades, Josh Bell went to
I was about to say that. Yeah, went to the
I would say Josh
Nationals.
Bell went to the
That's fair.
Nationals.
I think he's gonna have a
Um,
comeback year there. He at least needs
uh,
to. I don't know if he will. He at least needs to.
but yeah, I mean, other than that, no teams have really made any moves, and it's kind of weird because usually by now, in a normal offseason, teams would have made moves, players would have been on teams by now, so they can, because usually pitchers start reporting like first couple weeks of January, right?
Well, they'll go in like February,
This
just
time.
about.
Mm-hmm.
They'll
So
start getting ready maybe late January, but February is when they'll start going. And I mean, there's already guys playing everywhere else. Like we've seen Paredes tearing up the Mexican League, probably going to win MVP. I just found out.
and
I just found out Tatis is playing in a Dominican Republic league.
okay, yeah, and I actually saw that I was watching Sports Center, and I saw because Cano's on his team,
Oh, really?
and yeah, they're saying how Cano is just
Feeding them roids
smacking
down
home.
there,
He is smacking home runs down there,
and
and
they
they're
don't check
like,
for
even though
it.
they said even though Cano is suspended the whole entire season from the MLB, he's down in the Dominican Republic.
He just kept the roids pumping.
But like, I guess I feel like, is this more, are players playing more? Because I feel like you never see players playing in winter leagues like this normally.
I mean, I wouldn't expect somebody like Tatis to be out there, and I'm surprised like they're kind of letting him. I mean, at the same time, I'm not. It's like he can do whatever he
Because
wants, but
Vlad's
he's a valuable piece that could get hurt. I mean, it's always a risk anyway, no matter who goes. But like a big guy like that, I can see why he only played 60 games post the playoffs.
yeah.
But he wants to stay ready and just keep facing real pitching, and you can't really prepare for major league pitching off of like machines and soft toss. So I get that he's there, but it's just kind of like a surprise. I mean, but he's done it. Did it before he was like known. So
Yeah.
I get
And
it. He's
Vlad was playing
before he was
down.
Fernando Tatis, like before the household name. he was down there playing. So
Vlad was playing down there too against them. He was against Cano's and Tatis' team. And I think they're starting a 3-game stretch. I think the games are on ESPN or on some form at ESPN. Not probably on the main channel, probably like ESPN 10, but but yeah, because they were showing the highlights and it looked like ESPN format, and they said they were playing like a 3-game, 4-game series over the week into the weekend and stuff. So yeah, I mean that's pretty interesting there because I just feel like I'd never seen players because I've noticed a lot of Tigers players are really active in the Winter League, and I'm obviously like I'm gonna see Tigers more than other leagues or other teams because I follow the Tigers, but I just feel like more players are active in these Winter Leagues this offseason. I mean, and like you said, it makes sense since they only played 60 games and not you only had a handful of guys go to the playoffs, and so it makes sense in a way.
Yeah, and I couldn't imagine being those guys down there. They're fighting for spots and stuff and trying to play and like trying to figure things out, and you just look, you got an NL MVP candidate walking up to the plate to face you, like you're crapping your pants, and then with Robinson Cano chewing on roids on the on deck circle, like I can't imagine.
Yeah, like they're not gonna be like Robinson. You can't play here. That makes them extra money. Like that makes them 10 times more money letting him play down there.
I mean, there was a big discussion in the group message yesterday about Tatis's defense, but I'm just thinking about a Tatis Robinson Cano up the middle combination. I mean, it's not prime Robinson Cano fielding, but the man still, I think, could field the ball unless you ask nerds that know the stats. I would say Robinson Cano wasn't fielding the ball terrible, but he could have been. But I just thinking about that. That's pretty nice too.
Yeah. So when do you think, since we have about around, let's say a month from now, when pitchers start getting ready to report, when do you think free agents start like actually, taking that next step in signing?
I don't know, because it's the past few years they've been waiting until like a week before they have to report, and it's just like it feels like it's happening again because nobody knows values of guys because of only 60 games and like just track records, and they don't know how much to pay because they don't know how much they're going to get back because people can't go to the games. So like I get what's going on, but still it's like every year it keeps going longer and longer and longer.
Yeah. Well, and this year, especially going into 2021 and baseball being such a elongated sport, and I feel like that you're going to be able to have fans, and it might not be in high quantities. And for teams like the Tigers, that's normal for you. So
yeah, that's a normal attendance, about 5,000.
Yeah. So, like if I feel like that maybe they are going to have the possibility of fans this year because I feel like with the elongated season that MLB is, that you're going to have that chance of having fans, especially in like the lower regions like Florida, Texas. They were already kind of having fans. Like they had fans at the World Series and at at those other games that were at the Rangers Stadium. So I mean, I feel like maybe going into that April, May, some other teams, some other states are going to allow more fans, and I feel like they're going to be able to kind of tap in, and not unless it's a prime time, like Sunday night, Friday night, Saturday night game, Saturday day game, Sunday day game. You're not getting packed stadiums for baseball unless you're a great team like the Dodgers or something. Like you're not getting packed stadiums, so you can almost kind of have that restriction of like, hey, okay, five to 10,000 people, because honestly that's not even a lot. Like some of those stadiums can like, so you can be like, hey, you can only have this many people, and some teams like the Tigers might not even hit that. You might get 2,000 if you're lucky. Like so I feel like you'll be able to have fans this year, and I think that will be good, and I think for teams like the Tigers that will actually get people there because people will be able to go back. I feel like as soon as fans are allowed to go back to sports fully, you're going to see the highest amount of season tickets being bought and the highest amount of tickets in
Yeah,
general.
just
but
anybody
you're
being
gonna,
able to go in general, it's going to be
yeah.
pretty high.
So, I feel like even for teams like the Tigers or teams like, trying to think of our poverty franchises, Orioles, or the Rangers, or teams like that, you're gonna see high ticket sales for them, which will be good.
Yeah.
But I think that's all for baseball really
Yeah.
until
Yeah. My favorite thing that we get to talk about.
we got some Big Ten basketball here. Big Ten basketball has or not Big Ten basketball, but just college basketball in general. But Big Ten basketball has made some news over the past since Monday when the AP polls came out. Big Ten has 9 teams in the top 25, which I believe is a record.
I'm surprised they let them do it, but they I mean, like I said, they all deserve to be there. I'm just surprised the voters swallowed their pride and let them all in.
I mean, but like, who were you gonna put over someone? Who were you gonna put
That's what
over
I'm saying. Like they deserve to be there, but they
Mhm.
usually find a way to like keep teams out that shouldn't be that should be in there.
And Michigan's finally making their way up the board now, finally. But yeah, so starting from here, I'll just go. So you got Wisconsin is our
And they
highest at
lost
6.
last night, so they're gonna fall.
Yes, and then you got Iowa at 10, Rutgers at 14, Illinois 15, Michigan 16, Michigan State 17. So right there, you got 4 Big Ten teams right in a row, which
Yeah,
was very shocking. I didn't think they would put them back to back to back to back.
yeah.
That's the one thing I was shocked
I don't
about.
know if it's because they're saying it's too close to call. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
And then you have Northwestern 19 with Boo Booey leading their team.
boo booey hype.
And then Minnesota, it says they're tied for 21st, but basically 22nd. And then Ohio State 25.
And
Which,
Minnesota's gonna go up. Wait,
yeah,
yeah, it was
Minnesota
last night
will.
because it was last night they beat Michigan State, so they're gonna go up again,
Yeah.
and Michigan State's gonna go down again, and we love to see it.
Yeah. So yeah, Michigan. Let's just tap in here to. So the most recent games here from Monday night, we had Maryland beat Wisconsin 70-64, and like we said, so that means what is
Michigan's
Maryland
getting ready to
actually?
play them, Maryland. So
And I mean, obviously, if Michigan beats them, that will put Maryland with 4 losses. But if Maryland beats Michigan, they move top 25 because I mean they already have the chance. They're at 6 wins right now.
yeah,
So, but yes, Minnesota beat Michigan State by
that
30
was bad.
points,
It was.
so they will move up there.
I mean,
And then
Minnesota does have a bad record. A bad resume. They've beat. I think Iowa was their other one that they won, and Michigan State.
yeah, they beat them 102-95.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there in Minnesota, but apparently they're winning games.
Yeah. And yeah, but Iowa plays tonight against versus Northwestern. That will be a good game.
Oh, boo boo season again.
And
Let's
then
go.
Rutgers versus Purdue. And then we got Indiana versus Penn State, Ohio State, Nebraska on Wednesday. And then Minnesota versus Wisconsin. So they get a chance there.
They get a tough time.
Wait.
These past 3 games.
Yeah, so they get another chance. They get another chance there to be a top 10 team, and then Michigan, Maryland Thursday. So on New Year's Eve. So that should be a good game for them there.
Yeah, I couldn't really. I mean, in a non-cocky way, but still is. I couldn't relate being a part of 0-3 Twitter. They're in shambles right now. They're blaming everybody and themselves. It's just they're running around with like a chicken with their head cut off. They don't know what they're doing, and you just love to see it.
I mean, Michigan State was very high rated at the beginning of the year. I mean, I'm an outsider,
And it shows how bad Duke is. We love to see that too. They beat Duke, and then they go and lose to everybody else.
Yes, which is true.
And I think it may show that Northwestern was slept on because of Boo Booey. They were in last place last year, and now they're according to this, they're in second place behind Michigan.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so and shout out to the 0-3 Twitter that kept like screaming ninth place Twitter this before the season started. Well, I mean, shout out to last place 0-3 Twitter, and that's coming from number 1 Twitter. So
Um, but so talking about Michigan State, I guess I'm more of an outsider when it comes to basketball because like I only really pay attention during season, like recruiting. I only pay attention to like Michigan. But like when I looked at State's roster this year, like
they're not good.
it
They
it
don't have anybody.
it didn't look flashy, but yet they're still so highly rated. They were a top 10 team, top
And
5.
that's what after they beat Duke, everyone's like, "Oh, here it is. It's another just like everybody. It's another just solid team, no standout guys." And then Henry was supposed to be their best player, and now he's fallen off a little bit. I mean, not a little bit. I don't watch the games because I don't watch Michigan State, but according to 0-3 Twitter, they say Henry is one of the worst players on their team now. Rocket Watts, who I thought was probably going to be the best player, they said that he's probably second worst, even though it's weird because they're torn on him. They see he's a lottery pick, but also say he's the second worst player. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you like meet in the middle on there, but I think I saw like they had like a freshman big guy that's like decent and some other guys, but what
And
I've seen is that they don't know what they're doing right now. They don't have an identity and they
they
don't know
really
how to
don't.
score the ball or even defend. They don't
Um,
have like this one go-to guy, and they thought Henry was going to be that.
yeah. And so yeah, ever since conference play started, Michigan State has been 0-3. And you said Northwestern was first, right, in the Big Ten?
They're 3-0, but it has them behind Michigan because Michigan's 7-0 in the
No, I
overall. But in the Big Ten, Northwestern has the best record technically, 3-0,
yeah,
but
no, in the
Illinois is 3-1. So I mean,
no, in the Big Ten it shows that I'm on ESPN. It shows that Northwestern is first.
oh, this one's showing it's the other way around. But either way,
Yeah, it shows
I think this one's
Northwestern.
going by overall record. Well, I don't know because no, it's not going by overall because then
Mine's going by win percentage.
mine's just straight from Google. If it was overall record, then Minnesota would be in first place at 9-1. But
Yeah, so it goes Northwestern, Michigan, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Purdue, Iowa, OSU, Maryland, Indiana, Nebraska, Penn State, Michigan State.
yeah, it's like similar to this then.
So I do honestly think Michigan State falls out of top 25. I mean,
If they lose again, yeah.
I don't think you could
I
even
mean, probably not. If they lose to another Big Ten ranked team, then probably not. It just depends if they get crushed by them and somebody else plays good enough to move in, then maybe you can make that argument. But if
I
they
don't
keep
think you
losing
keep
to
a three
yeah,
loss team.
that's what I know. That's what I was gonna say too. But if they lose to a good conference team, then everybody's gonna say, "Well, it was a good team. It's in their conference. They're ranked." It's like I don't know.
Because like you look at it, you got teams like Xavier and San Diego State that I would assume,
Yeah, I saw that they're getting a lot of votes.
yeah, they're top votes, and I would assume that what's Xavier Big East? Xavier's 8-1, so I don't think you leave 8-1 out for a 6-3 team.
Yeah, but they're gonna base it off of strength of schedule. Xavier probably doesn't play anybody. Like I said, Michigan State's beat Duke and was it Virginia? Was their other ACC team?
Yeah, I think so.
So
Let's take a little look here at Xavier's. I'm just interested. They play Seton Hall tonight. The thing about Xavier is they've had a lot of games postponed. But they beat Oakland, Bradley, Toledo, Eastern Kentucky.
Oakland's getting passed around. What the heck? I swear everybody's played Oakland now.
Tennessee Tech, Cincinnati, Oakland or Oklahoma, and then Marquette. Wait, who did they lose to?
Probably Cincinnati or something.
Oh, Creighton. They lost to Creighton.
Oh, Creighton. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, Xavier was ranked, but then they lost to Creighton, and that's why they fell out of the top 25. Okay.
Makes sense.
And then they play Seton Hall tonight, and then in January, their Villanova game's already postponed. I don't know why that. Okay. Oh,
Anyway,
it looks like it already got rescheduled though.
all that we're saying is that it's a lot different than what people would have thought this year.
Yes, it is. And
I mean,
I'm
everybody
actually
knew that it was going to be very competitive and that there was a chance that all these teams would be ranked. It's just like they didn't think these teams would be where they are, whether good or bad.
Mhm. And when it comes to March Madness, just thinking about it right now, it's going to be a field of 64, right? From what I've heard.
I don't know. Isn't it
Because I
usually?
heard what?
Isn't it usually?
No, usually it's
Oh,
like
is it 32 usually then?
no. Usually it's a lot more.
Oh, either way.
Here, hold on. Let me see because they're I know they're doing a bubble in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And they're gonna have all the teams down there. Oh no,
That's usually 64.
it will be 68 teams. Yeah.
So they're just adding
I
four
thought
teams to it.
no, they're usually four teams because those play in the wild or like the play-in.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
So I don't know. Either way, I only focus on like the 1 through 5 seed because that's where Michigan usually lands, unless they just crap the bed somehow.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. The final four is at Lucas Oil. This can't be right.
No, it's probably not.
Or no. Yeah, no, it is at Lucas Oil Stadium. I was looking at future dates, but I was like, there's no way that. Okay, but there's no way that they're playing all these different places or all these different
No,
rounds.
probably not. It's probably they're just putting random places right now for placeholders.
Yeah, because they obviously the first four will probably be at Dayton, always is, and then, but yeah, for the I feel like the rounds, that's gonna be interesting how they're gonna do that because if they do it like one place, then like, okay, so obviously if you do it in Indianapolis, you have Lucas Oil Stadium, and then you have the Pacers court, and then you have
And then
University of
Indiana.
Indiana. And then you have Notre Dame that you could go to. That's four places.
I don't know if Indiana has a hockey arena or anything, so I'm not sure.
I would assume so. I would assume, yeah. I would.
Unless they share it with the Pacers, I'm not sure.
Or no. Indiana doesn't have a hockey team out there.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably.
I thought you were talking about University of Indiana.
Oh, well, maybe that too, but.
But yeah, because I don't know if the season will be going on during then or not.
I don't know. Either way, they're gonna have to plan it out some certain way, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because when you think of, I mean, and at that point, I guess you could go to like smaller colleges because in reality, like you're not gonna have fans, so you really just have to have the broadcasting
just like
part
the
of it.
AAU games you're pulling up and just playing at some small colleges and stuff. So
yeah, I mean, because right there you have your big games played at Lucas Oil, Indiana, Baker's Life, or no, because you can't do Pacers because they'll be playing still.
If it just depends if the Pacers are playing.
Yeah, I guess they'll
just
have to schedule around. Yeah. Well, yeah, you wouldn't be able to. I mean, I know. Never mind. I was gonna say you wouldn't be able to change the court, but they're so fast about that they would be.
Well, you wouldn't have to. I mean,
no, they changed the court
when they do it for the regional games, like when they play at Little Caesars. I think they keep it.
No, they don't. They
might change a little bit, but
I think all they do is on like the end boards they put like March Madness round 1 and but yeah, I mean it would just be interesting to see what they do because that's basically how it might be is like pulling up like the NBA did for bubble, but pulling up at like different stadiums and just being like I don't know. That'd be really interesting there. But I mean that's a couple months out and actually only 2 months out really now, but when you think about it,
goes fast.
Coming up fast. But yeah, I mean, that's all we got for basketball there. Yeah, anything else to say more before we end this off here?
No, I just wanted to address the other thing on this thumbnail that if anybody out there that isn't part of it, if anybody's thinking about joining Tiger's Twitter, probably don't.
Can you explain what Tiger's Twitter is? Because it's
Actually, go ahead and join it, but don't get invested in it. Tiger's Twitter is a cult of pain and sadness and memes and
why is it pain and sadness?
just it's tigers in general, so that's already pain.
Okay.
Just the memes and roasts and just things in general bring sadness. There are some great people, but
Okay.
you know there's also pain. So I mean, it's like the normal world. It's just a normal Twitter, but you know, just
Seems like
shout out Tigers Twitter, but also not shout out to them.
yeah, I'm gonna say being in that group chat has been very interesting.
It
And
really
going
changes you.
what?
It really changes you.
It does. It in a way it does. You're right. In a way it does. It
I've spoken to some great people that I just probably would have never done, but
okay, and they posted a video of that picture that they sent earlier.
yeah, I just saw that. So that's where it's at current state. I just wanted to say that I had some more planned, but I don't know how to communicate things, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just shout out pain and sadness.
Yep. So but yeah, I think that's all we got here for you guys. So thank you guys for watching this first video back. Like I said, probably only like two more videos this week, and then I think we're gonna try to get normal next week, where we'll have a Monday. I gotta think of our normal schedule.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh yeah, it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm just so set on like an
We'll
everyday
be
schedule
this.
now.
We'll be this, and then if they do a film room or not, and then I don't know if you're not starting at Sunday. Oh no, you usually record Sunday. Yeah, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, so we might have 4 videos out during the week now. It would be our Monday video, and then I don't know if they're doing film room. I would assume they're still going to do film room. I think they would just do that like on Monday. They'll probably do that throughout the playoffs, and then this on Wednesday, and then our Friday video. I don't know. We're going to have to figure out what our Friday video is going to be now, since we don't have.
We need another rankings. We need to get through it.
Oh yeah, we need to finish our power forward and center before All-Star
Before it
break.
gets to All-Star break, and then everybody's gonna be biased compared to how they're playing this year.
So yeah, we'll get we'll probably we'll do our power forwards by next week. Who knows? That might even be Monday's video.
Yeah, I might just have to mess around and do it. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.